Hey everyone, let's jump right into this explainer. Today we're taking a look at the smart home blueprint. We're going to completely demystify the tech that's literally transforming our living spaces. We're drawing on some awesome insights about how to actually get started with all this, easily and affordably. So let's get to it. You know, we all remember watching those old sci-fi movies, right? The ones with the glowing control panels, voice-activated living rooms, just automated everything. For the longest time, we all kind of figured that level of tech was decades away. Or, maybe just reserved for billionaires with massive custom-built mansions. It really just felt like pure movie magic. But here is the real question our sources pose today. Has this tech finally crossed that threshold? Like, has it gone from being a sci-fi luxury to an affordable everyday necessity for your actual living space right now? Is it really worth plugging all this into a standard apartment? To figure that out, we're going to build a smart ecosystem block by block. We'll look at 1, the smart home brain, 2, essential sensors in devices, 3, security and safety scenarios, 4, comfort, lighting, and climate, and finally, number 5, your beginner starter kit. All right, section 1, the smart home brain. We have to start with the absolute foundation here, the core of your automated setup. As our source brilliantly points out, the smart home begins with the brain. You literally cannot have a smart ecosystem without a central command center. Everything else flows from this one spot. Because think about it, if you just buy random smart gadgets without a brain to manage them, you just have a messy collection of complicated toys. That is not an ecosystem.
So this brain is what we call the hub. And in a lot of modern setups, like the Yandex Alice example from our sources, this is actually just a smart speaker. But beneath the surface, it's doing so much heavy lifting as your command center. It talks to this huge network of devices around your house, using standard Wi-Fi, sure, but also through a specialized low-power protocol called Zigbee. Zigbee is an absolute game changer here because it lets all those tiny battery-powered sensors talk to the hub without draining their batteries in a week and without clogging up your home's internet router.
Moving on to section 2, essential sensors and devices. Okay, now that we've got our brain, we need a sensory network to connect to it. These are basically the eyes and ears of your smart home. Our source breaks down a super simple but powerful toolkit. First, you've got the smart button, which can trigger completely different routines if you give it a single, double, or long press. Then, door and window sensors. They just know when something opens or closes. You also have vibration or tilt sensors that pick up on movement or shaking. And finally, leak sensors. These are just simple little pucks where if water bridges 2 metal contacts on the bottom, it immediately triggers an alert. And the best part about all this? The flexibility. You are not locked into one walled garden. A good central hub seamlessly integrates with a massive variety of third-party brands. We're talking Xiaomi, Aqara, Redmond, and tons of others. As long as they're compatible with your hub, they'll all play nice together in the exact same app. You basically get to cherry-pick the best tool for whatever job you need. That brings us to section 3, security and safety scenarios. So let's take this from theory to practice. How do these blocks actually cure our daily household anxieties? Well, imagine this sequence. You're heading out. You're the last one leaving the apartment. You just press a smart button by the door. Boom. A 10-second delay activates, giving you time to walk out and lock up. Then, your motion, window, and leak sensors all arm automatically. Now, a professional might say, hey, that's not a bank vault-level security system. And sure, it won't stop advanced signal jammers. But for everyday peace of mind against standard issues, it's incredibly effective and completely hands-off. But it goes way beyond just guarding an empty house. These tools give you really targeted peace of mind. Let's say you have kids. You can get push notifications the second they leave for school and when they get back, so you aren't constantly texting to check in. Or how about safeguarding your valuables? You can stick a vibration sensor right on a safe. If someone bumps it, the hub can literally shout a custom warning, like, I already informed Konstantin that you touched it. How great is that? And for air quality, smoke and gas sensors give you immediate alerts for fires, or, as the source hilariously points out, you can just use them to check if someone's secretly smoking a hookah in the house. And to put the cost of all this into perspective, think about this number. 500 rubles. That's roughly $5 or $6 in US dollars. That is the cost of a basic, independent leak sensor. You don't always need some crazy, expensive, complex system that physically shuts off your home's main water valve. For a few bucks, you can just toss a standalone sensor under the washing machine or out on a damp balcony. It won't turn the water off for you, but it will ping your phone instantly. You can stop a puddle long before it becomes a disaster. Speaking of avoiding disasters, we've all been here, right? You're on your morning commute and suddenly you get that sinking feeling in your stomach. Wait, did I leave the iron on? It is a universal anxiety that absolutely ruins your morning. Well, the foolproof cure for that panic is a simple smart plug. If you plug your iron, or honestly any sketchy appliance into a smart plug, you just open your app on the train, check its status, and turn it off remotely. Actually, you can even set an automatic timer. So if the iron is turned on, the plug just automatically cuts the power after 15 minutes. Period. Problem solved. Anxiety completely gone. Next up, Section 4. Comfort, lighting, and climate.
Security is awesome for sure, but let's shift gears to how a smart home physically upgrades your lifestyle, because this is where it gets really fun. Let's compare two mornings. Morning A, waking up to a loud, blaring alarm in a pitch-black room. Awful, stressful. Morning B, you sync a smart curtain track to your alarm clock. The second your alarm chimes, your curtains silently glide open, and natural sunlight just floods the room. I mean, that is the ultimate sci-fi level comfort we talked about earlier, happening right now in reality.
And this whole ecosystem is constantly working in the background. Imagine stumbling into your bathroom at 3 a.m. and the motion sensor tells the smart nightlight to only turn on at 50% so you aren't completely blinded. Or setting up a humidifier to click on and off based on exact real-time humidity thresholds in the room. You can even use smart relays to run your heated floors, have them kick on at 6 a.m. so your bathroom tile is nice and toasty when you wake up, and automatically shut off at 9 a.m. to save energy while you're at the office. It's just brilliant efficiency. Okay, finally, Section 5, your beginner starter tank. We've covered the brain, the sensors, and the scenarios, but what do you actually need to buy to pull this off? Our sources put together a list of 10 essential building blocks for your first setup. 1. The hub, obviously. 2. Door and window sensors. 3. A motion sensor. 4. A temp and humidity sensor. 5. A leak sensor. 6. A smart plug. 7. A smart bulb. 8. A smart button. 9. A camera with cloud storage. And 10, automatic curtains. Now, you absolutely do not need to buy all 10 at once. You can start with just 3 or 4 of these, but this list is your perfect actionable shopping guide to kickstart that home automation journey. When you really think about it, the future from all those movies is already sitting right in front of us. It's cheap, it blends different brands seamlessly, and it genuinely solves real problems, from flooded floors to that horrible "did I leave the iron on" feeling. It's accessible to literally anyone with Wi-Fi in a smartphone. So I'll leave you with this. If absolute comfort and total peace of mind cost so little and set up so easily, what's stopping your home from finally working for you? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I hope you're ready to build your own smart ecosystem.